But coming in from the ECB president, of course, that's the second rate cut that ECB has done this year itself. But that's the global market action, how these overnight cues impact our own markets. We have our research team joining in bright and early this Friday morning to tell you what the trade setup is looking like. This is our Power Prep segment, and we have all of them joining in today now. Good morning, guys. A very happy Friday morning to all of you. Harmas, let me come across to you first up. Is it a happy Friday for the bulls yet again after that stellar rally?
Well, it almost seemed like a Friday party yesterday itself, isn't it? You categorized the yesterday's trading session into two halves. Before 2 p.m. and after 2 p.m. it almost felt like a different trading day altogether. And after 2 p.m. it was just a one-way move for the index. The Nifty moving almost 400 points in just 90 minutes, hitting a new record high when you least expected it, when it was struggling to cross 25,000 for a better part of yesterday, now making a new high of 25,433. It was an absolutely stellar move on the index. All 50 constituents ending the day with gains. And if you can see the contributors as well, it was a broad-based move because the top three contributors, HDFC Bank, Reliance and Bharti Airtel, contributed only to a quarter of the Nifty upside. All of them putting their hand up and moving the Nifty higher in yesterday's trading session. And the institutional flows as well, that also gives you a picture, right? It was heavy buying seen from the FIIs yesterday. Of course, the number would be skewed because of the large deal seen in Honasa, but a substantial buy figure from the FIIs nonetheless. And of course, it was the Nifty Bank that led the charge before the other heavyweights put their hand up. The Nifty Bank at one point was struggling to cross 51,500. It crossed that level decisively yesterday as well, ending near the mark of 51,700. And now it's still 1,600 points away from their record high levels, but that is almost a matter of two good sessions, if so to speak. Also, contributions coming in from metals, autos, and PSU banks finally saw some relief in yesterday's trading session. For the week, both the Nifty and the Nifty Bank are up now 2% each, of course, after yesterday's move. Now, question being whether the Nifty is prepping itself for 26,000 by the end of this series. And of course, is it time for the Nifty Bank to retest its previous highs? And how much now is the Fed relevant to the decision next week to this market move? For now, the GIFT Nifty is indicating a positive start for our own markets as well.
Okay, yes, that is what the GIFT Nifty is suggesting. Thank you so much, Harmas, for joining in now. Let me go across to Winnie. She's joining in with the list of all the stocks that will be in focus today. Good morning, Winnie.
Good morning, Sonal. And starting with a real estate name here, Puravankara, that's going to be in focus. They've signed a joint development agreement, and this is for a 1.95-acre land in Bangalore. So yes, that is there. Plus, they have acquired a redevelopment right, and this is in the south of Bombay in Breach Candy area for Miami Apartments. So that's going to be in focus. Moving on, we have Power Grid, that's also in focus. The company has received a letter of intent for interstate transmission system in the state of Gujarat. So yes, keeping an eye out on that. BLS International, too, in focus after the arm has acquired 100% stake in UAE-based Citizenship Investment DMCC for around $31 million. That's almost 260 crore rupees. SBI Cards, keep an eye on that. They've to consider raising funds via NCDs of around 5,000 crore on 18th of September. So SBI Cards maybe could see some bit of a move there. Patanjali sources say that group firms are likely to raise up to $240 million. This is via block deal. The group firms are likely to sell 3% stake in the company. Floor price at 1,815 rupees per share. Keep an eye on that. Tata Power too is in focus after Tata Power Renewable and Tata Motors have signed an MOU to set up around 2,000 fast chargers. So focus coming in on electric vehicles and in building that infrastructure. So key focus area, Tata Power as well as Tata Motors is something we're watching out for.
Okay, all right. Those will be some stocks on our radar. Thank you, Winnie, for that list. Finally, let's talk about the F&O space. Big moves on the Nifty yesterday. Mangalam is joining in now with all those details. Mangalam.
Big moves indeed. In fact, you know, the last 90 minutes, you can summarize it as fireworks on expiry day. Look at the Nifty, look at the Nifty Bank. You would see big moves. 470 points is the close. Nifty Bank 760 points, but from the lows, it was a much higher move itself. Three factors that led to this up move. The first one, of course, that on weekly options expiry day, there was massive short covering. Most on the street were positioned at the earlier resistance of 25,150 thereabouts for the Nifty. So once the Nifty Bank crossed that 50-day moving average of 51,362, all these shorts ran for cover, and the Nifty too crossed its resistance band of 25,150 itself. It was led by the heavyweights Reliance, HDFC Bank, Bharti Airtel and L&T as well. And all through the course of the day, the Midcap Index did extremely well with advances far outnumbering decliners. And if you look at the Midcap Index, that too ended at the high point of trade. But advanced decline chart would tell you that the gap between both were maintained and only increased towards the latter half of trade. Importantly, if you look at the open interest changes in all the index futures, the Nifty is seen an open interest jump of nearly 9.9%, whereas the Nifty Bank saw a decline of 11.3%, telling you there was short covering on the Nifty Bank and long addition on the Nifty itself. And that's exactly what the FIs did. Nearly 2,600 crore worth purchase in index futures, 48,000 long contracts being added, and as a result of which their net longs have increased from 1.5 lakh contracts to 1.9 lakh contracts, and the long exposure understandably up to 66%. Now, what is it that we need to watch out for? GIFT Nifty is indicating a strong start. The key support for the Nifty has moved on to the earlier resistance of 25,150, and similar for the Nifty Bank. Support has moved higher to 51,400, and the sectors to track from here on would be the IT and the metals pack ahead of the Fed meet next week. One stock I'm watching out for today is Granules. It's entered F&O ban after a big dip yesterday.
Definitely a stock of the day yesterday. Thank you so much for joining in today and prepping us